Welcome to this episode of Dusty Shed Sessions 2026. This is episode 3. And I'm firmly back within the boundaries of Wiltshire this time. Joining me is a singer-songwriter from the county town of Trowbridge. My guest this time grew up in Bristol. He cut his teeth on the local folk scene and helps out at the Trowbridge venue of choice, The Pump, and also runs the acoustic club there. It's my great pleasure to give a very warm welcome to Matt Cook.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, Matt. Matt, can you tell me a little bit about your background and your music, please?
Yeah, so like I said, I grew up in Yate, just outside Bristol, with a dad who loved music, was always playing me Dylan and Leonard Cohen non-stop, ad nauseum, I think is probably the phrase. And then I started showing an interest in classic rock stuff, and he bought me an electric guitar for my 15th or 16th birthday. And I pretty soon realised that I actually wanted an acoustic guitar. So that didn't last very long. Got myself an acoustic, and it was pretty soon after that learnt a few basic chords and then started to write my own stuff. Lots of very kind of not particularly original, I was writing songs that sounded like Johnny Cash or trying to be Dylan, that sort of thing. And then started instantly kind of wanting to get out live. I don't know what it was. There was a compulsion to write my own stuff and get out there and do it. So went and used to organise gigs with a few other people in Yate, and you'd have an amazing scene, but very different. So I'd normally start, because it would be me and an acoustic guitar, then there'd be an emo band, and then a rapper, and then a metal band, and then an indie band. But what it meant was that we could kind of sell about 300 tickets to these shows, because every teenager in Yate had a mate in one of these different bands. So we used to do that, and used to play a lot of folk clubs and stuff. Young, my dad used to take me to folk clubs in Wootton Under Edge and places like that in the area, and played at them. So in a pub setting, probably underage at the time, not drinking beers, so learnt kind of in that atmosphere and in that environment of people then sharing songs. It was always an older generation as well. That was the thing with kind of being in the folk scene, was I did the stuff in Yate with people my age. But from the folk clubs and then what I'm doing now, I've always kind of been the young guy in the room, which I think has helped, because you're a bit of a novelty, and they want to listen to you and give you lots of support, because they're happy to see somebody younger coming through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what got you into songwriting, and how do you think you've evolved over time?
There's definitely been an evolution. So there was that kind of phase I was talking about there, where I was writing songs. I was in a group with another friend called Barnyard Cafeteria. We used to play around Bath, Bristol, those gigs, like I said, in Yate, and we did all original stuff that I'd written, and we thought we were going to be the next Pogues or Billy Bragg or Dylan again, and there was a youthful energy but no refinement to it at all. And then I went off to uni, and life started to happen, and I had a 10-year, 15-year break from performing live, but was always playing guitar. And then in the last few years I've kind of focused a bit more on getting better, and then got back into going to folk clubs again, which got me writing again, but this time with a different, more openness, I think, to express what I feel. Like I used to write and still do write lots of political songs or songs about a topic, but I suppose it comes with maturity now, being able to write about feelings and things more readily, and so that's evolved, and being a bit more confident in myself and knowing my limitations and accepting them, and so it's evolving constantly as well, though. Always evolving.
So can you tell me about the first song that you're going to play?
Yeah, so the first song is a song called Evergreen, that the the male role models, apart from my dad in my family, have got a really annoying habit of dying far too young. It's awful because they just when you think they're gone. And so my grandpa and my uncle Kevin were massively formative, but both died, like I said, far too young. And I've wanted to write a song about that for a long time, and it was a difficult one to get out. And it's happened. It's happened now. It probably won't be the last, but this is my one, for them, full of very specific imagery and memories that I hope is universal. And it always seems to go down well. So,
excellent.
Gathering up the hen's eggs, I'd sit on your legs and I'd steer the tractor slowly down the lane. Quickly fix a fence post, then it's back for a roast. Granny's in the kitchen, venison again. Singing memories helps me to believe that as the leaves are falling, drifting further from the tree, you are evergreen. Get the bonfire going and get the whiskey flowing. A little too much diesel, there goes the apple tree. Top down you're driving, living up, surviving. The wind is in your sails, you and Wayne are off to sea. Singing memories helps me to believe that as the leaves are falling, drifting further from the tree, you are evergreen, and you're still here with me.
So Matt, how do you go about starting to write a new song? What comes first, the lyrics or the music?
it tends to be the music. I've got, like probably most songwriters, on my phone, I've got probably 20 at the moment bits of guitar that I've chucked at a phone when you sit down, you're waiting for everyone else in the house to get ready and pick up a guitar. Oh, this sounds cool. Quickly record that. So I've got all these little snippets, and then I'll think, oh, that's a good song. And then I've normally got a list in my head of song ideas or topics that I want to write about, and generally will assign, oh, this music has a feeling like it would fit with this idea. There'll be a song there one day, and then it's just a case of waiting for that to come out. Sometimes there's a chorus. I've got lots of them where I've got a chorus that is there, and I go, oh, I need to get around to writing some verses, and then it takes a long time to battle with them.
So that kind of brings me on to the next question, which is kind of when you sit down to write a song.
Yeah.
Do songs come, start to finish, or do you tend to have to kind of write a framework and then mould and edit and songsmith around an idea?
Yes, so like I said, it tends to be the music first. There's been a few instances where I've had some lyrics that happened recently with one that I'm not actually going to play today, but I was just going up to bed and just picked up a notepad and wrote down a load of lyrics, woke up in the morning and thought, oh, they're good, then picked up a guitar and added music to that. I tend to have music and, like I said, a theme, and then the lyrics tend to then come in a block. Definitely normally a first verse and a chorus, like I said. Sometimes the second one often takes a bit more work. But yeah, I think most of what I'm going to play today would have happened in that way, where it was music first with an idea, and then labour the lyrics a bit more afterwards. And they tend to evolve. There's the lyrics, and then you go out and play them at an open mic or a folk club, and then you start to edit. There's a lifetime's worth of editing. That's, I think, one of the cool things about music as an art form is it's not, especially performing live. Obviously, when you record, you've recorded this, or if you do a painting, you do a painting and then it goes up, or a film is filmed. But when you're performing music live, it's constantly evolving. Verses can chop and change, and lines can change, and how you play it will be different depending on the room, the crowd. Everything is constantly evolving. I think that's the magic of writing songs and performing them, rather than just recording. I definitely prefer the performing.
So what's the inspiration behind your next song?
So the next song is, so I said I've always been drawn to songwriters and music that has a message, a political message with a small p. This was one where I had the music lying around. I wrote the lyrics in one go the day that Donald Trump was elected for his second term. And it's about him, but it's also about kind of, the rise of populism more generally, from the point of view of an unreliable narrator. I love how people like Randy Newman can work, with an unreliable narrator who is saying the things that you don't agree with, that you don't like. So it's kind of, it's my sympathy for the devil, I suppose, but less sympathetic. It deliberately had a lot of quite vulgar imagery in it, because I think that those ideas are pretty vulgar. So, I make no apologies for them.
Okay.
Coming through the pipework underneath the kitchen sink, pollute your inner organs through the water that you drink. I hide inside the ready meals within your nightly feed. Absorbed by your intestines, I'm the devil that you need. Night when you are sleeping, I will penetrate your dreams, pump you full of sweetness till you're bursting at the seams, awaking, feeling nourished until I cut you and you bleed. I'm sharp as Occam's razor, I'm the devil that you need. So forgive them, Lord, for they have sinned. They know not what they have done. I'll lead them to fiery gates. The latter days have come. I'll slip inside a pocket and I'll ride a child to school. In disseminating knowledge of what is wicked and what's cruel. I'll burn the books of women's rights, convince you all to breed an army in my image, 'cause I'm the devil that you need. I'm an international being, I operate some frontier. Don't look at me, what's that I see? A family over there. They've come to eat your veterans, do not worry for their needs. I'll shoot them from the water, 'cause I'm the devil that you need.
So, as mentioned in the introduction, you run the acoustic club and help out at the pump. Do
Yeah.
you want to give out a shout out to the pump?
Yeah, definitely. And if you don't come regularly, you definitely should. It's every weekend we have generally 2 shows, Friday and Saturday night, some Sunday matinee shows of live original music, often local, but we get international touring bands in. We had Tom Robinson a couple of weeks ago, so we get some big names as well. And then I run the acoustic club with a friend Simon, where we have a guest every month doing a full set in the second half, and then the first half is floor spots of local musicians and entertainers. We get a lot of poets as well, that you sign up for in advance, but that's kind of open to anyone to sign up to, and we get a really good level of fantastic performers, and it's just a lovely night. It's a real pleasure to organise it, and you can find us online, all the normal places, Facebook and Instagram, for checking out what we're doing there.
Have you got any gigs coming up?
I've got a support at the pump because it's handy. When you volunteer there, I'm actually organising the gig, so I said, "Oh, support sorted for that one." Supporting Rosie Upton, who's a well-respected folk singer, traditional folk singer. She used to run the pump with her husband, and she's got a new album coming out, so it's a nice invitation of the old guard back to the venue.
Excellent.
Supported by those of us that are running it now. So I've got that coming up. And then various folk clubs I'm at all the time. Bradford and Avon Folk Club every week, and Bath Acoustic Club's brilliant. I've been there for the first time, and open mics. But if anyone out there wants to book me after hearing this, carry on.
So where can we find your music?
So I haven't got anything out at the moment, but I am working on a project at the moment that has been going on for a while now. It's finding free time to actually get and do it. So hopefully in the next couple of months I'll have stuff out, which will be good fun. Scary, and like I said, I'm much more comfortable performing live than recording, weirdly, because there's that interaction with the people in the room, and and I hate hearing myself. It sounds fine when you're doing it, but when you hear it back, and you hear it back 100 times,
you've got to get
it's
used
difficult,
to it.
isn't it?
You've got to get used to that sound.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt, what's the next song about?
So this one came about because I was bumming myself out, basically. I was writing too many miserable songs about how I wasn't happy with what was going on in the world, so I wanted to just set out to write one that was positive, and thinking that we can get out the other side of other things that are difficult in a better place, rather than just seeing the worst in it. So that was that, and again had the chorus sitting around for ages, and the tune sat on my phone for months, and then eventually beat some verses into it.
The sun came up today in another town, and I'm doing grand. Oh, my boots are full of sand, oh yeah. sun still burns your skin in that other town. And the people are all the same, only the accents change, oh yeah. So throw your arms out wide, let everything inside you. And don't stop wherever you're trying to go. Keep holding on. And don't stop.
So what's your next song about, Matt?
Okay, so this one's good fun, and this is a bit mischievous. This one, it started off with a bit of a thought experiment. So like I said, I enjoy singing and writing political songs with a message saying what I think about something. But just one day sat down and thought, well, it's great, and that's unifying with people in the room. But generally, you tend to be in a room with people that hold very similar opinions to you. There's very rarely a fascist or a executive banker in the room. So that's almost easy. Easy. You're never going to get any pushback. And so I just got thinking, what do I really genuinely care about and feel passionate about that there'll be people in the room that aren't going to agree with it, and see what I can do with that. So I wrote this song, and when I first said I was going to go and perform it, my wife was terrified. She said, "Oh, everyone's going to come and come beat you up," and it's been good fun. I've done it live a few times, and you finish it, and you get a moment of people almost pausing before they clap, but then they do because we're English and we're polite and we've got to clap. But then it's always been met with, people know that my tongue is in my cheek, and I never introduce it with this explanation of it being a bit of an experiment, because then that takes the sting out of the tale. I enjoy what's going to happen. But it's good fun, and like I said, I mean it. But to show that, the tongue's in the cheek, the title, Don't Worry, it's the punchline of the age-old joke. How do you spot a vegan in the room? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Roll up for the cheap meats. They got a special on today. The price of life's a poultry, son. What's in that sausage anyway? It's amazing what they're doing now with protein from beans not fed on hay. Hey, if you prefer your meal sentient, that's a psychopathic sentiment. While I sleep good and sound, 'cause my food grew in the ground. Although they don't make a sound, fish have feelings and pigs have tear ducts and cry. Does your mother have 4 stomachs? Does she have udders? Does she moo? Did she cry out for 1 whole week when they ripped her away from you? It seems that enforced pregnancy's the only practical way to provide your sacrificial siblings and ensure you can supple mother's milk every day. Oh, and I'll sleep good and sound, 'cause my food grew in consciousness. Sheep have memories and pigs have tear ducts and cry, oh they cry, they cry.
So if you like this video, well, you know the drill. Like, follow and subscribe, and you'll be notified when we release a new episode. So let your friends know, because it's becoming really clear that there's an abundance of talent within Wiltshire, and that talent needs an audience and opportunity. So thanks again, Matt, for dropping by. It's been a real pleasure discussing songwriting with you and for your live performances today.
Thanks, it's been great fun.
Okay, so what's the background to the next song?
Okay, so this song's called Close Your Eyes. This was the first song that I wrote kind of in the second phase, if you call it that. So after having this break and getting back into playing music more regularly. And I was going to say my wife's family, my family, you know, we are one family, have experienced a lot of grief in that time. And it was a song trying to express some of that. That was where it came from. And that was what I thought until I started playing it. Until I started playing it live, and I've probably played it more than any other song I've written now, because it pops up a lot. I like to put it at the end of anything I do. It's always the closer. And from that, and how we were saying about how things are constantly evolving, I now see it more as a song of hope, and rather than grief, it's the hope that things will be better afterwards, and always will be. And a positive thing. So yeah, I've got a bit of a soft spot for it.
Thank you for watching and supporting this channel, and in turn, especially for the support that you're giving the artist featured. I'll return in a couple of weeks with a new episode of Dusty Shed Sessions, and playing us out this time is Matt Cook with Close Your Eyes.
We're going back where we came from. Just close your eyes, count to 10. And we'll be safe and warm in bed again. It's been a wet old year, and I got pockets full of tears. Just close your eyes, count to 10. bed.